everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Jayson.
Jayson, where did we go this last weekend?
To Metropolis.
Metropolis?
Yes.
Metropolis, Illinois for the Superman celebration?
Mm-hmm.
We went for the, what was it, the 37th? Yes, the 37th annual Superman celebration, and this is a show that I try to do most every year. I have to actually, because of scheduling and stuff, wasn't able to go the last couple of years, but finally went again this year. I think this is my fifth time going to the celebration, and my documentary, The Midwestern Panels, was shown Sunday morning, which is part of the reason we went, but we really wanted to go this year anyway, so we went ahead and went. Part of the reason we really wanted to go, part of the reason I really wanted to go, was to meet Katie Lotz. Did we get to meet Katie Lotz?
Yes, we did.
What did Katie Lotz sign?
She signed...
Did she sign this poster?
Yes.
This print? So I got this print. Some of you have seen this already. I got this print at Planet Comic-Con this year in Kansas City, and I had no idea that she was going to be at the Superman celebration when I got it, and just happened to get lucky. Fantastic little twist of fate, and she was at Metropolis, and I got to meet her, and I got to have her sign this. A lot of folks really hoping that I could get an interview. I was working on that. I was working with my contacts at a Supervillain Network. Those are the folks that I do a radio show for, and we tried to get that put together, and I could have, had I gone as press, and I could have gotten press credentials and done all of that, and gotten interviews with her and Candace Patton. Who did Candace Patton play?
I was with from The Flash.
That's right, and we got to meet her as well, and I could have gotten interviews, but the problem is I would have had to work all weekend, because apparently in order to get press credentials, you have to write a certain number of articles and things like that, and had I been going by myself, I totally would have, but this was kind of a family vacation for us, ergo, also the reason that I didn't get any footage. Last week I told you guys that I would probably bring my camera and do some shooting, and I brought my camera, but I ended up not doing any shooting, and I left it in the hotel room, because it was incredibly hot out there, and I didn't want to lug it around in the heat all day and spend all my time shooting and not spending time with my family. So ultimately I opted to not film, which was somewhat unfortunate, and if anybody ends up posting the Q&A with Katie Lotz and Candace Patton, I will make sure and put it in the description and put it on Facebook and Twitter and show everybody, because Jayson got to get pretty heavily involved in the Q&A. Jayson asked me if he could ask a question during the Q&A, and like I said, it was just Katie Lotz and Candace Patton, so they were talking about Arrow and Flash, and they were talking about upcoming seasons for those shows, and of course, Katie Lotz was talking quite a bit about Heroes or Legends of Tomorrow. And Jayson, what question did Jayson got? On the outside of our aisle and raised his hand real big. And if you're a cute little kid at that festival, they tend to call on you. And what question do you remember? Did you ask Candace Patton?
Why do you get mad when you play Iris?
And he cracked up the entire group that was there, and Candace Patton put me on the spot because she goes, first of all, and she kept saying this, and I love how down to earth she was. By the way, folks know that I am not the biggest Iris West fan, but I'm starting to turn into a Candace Patton fan. She was absolutely fantastic, super down to earth, and was real quick to say, I don't write the show, and anything you don't like about my character, it's not my fault. And she talked a lot too, by the way, about things that they're doing moving forward to maybe make her more like the Iris West we know and love in the comics. She talked about that, and we'll see if that actually happens. But she seems keenly aware that her character is not always real likable, and that she can sometimes be a little bit of the typical love interest type. And so the first thing she said to Jayson was, "Well, I don't write the show." But then the second thing she said, do you remember what she said?
No.
She said that people were lying to her, and so she was, and so her character had to be angry. Of course, this is what she was saying to explain it to my 5-year-old, and she goes, has your dad ever lied to you? Has your dad ever said that this is what she said, that he was going to take you to the movie theater and you wound up at the dentist instead? So we're under this big tent, right? And everybody in the tent, it's a full packed house, and everybody leans in and looks at me, and I'm like, what did I do? And it was absolutely hilarious. So anyway, did you have a good time meeting Candace Patton and Katie Lotz.
Yep.
I think Jayson had more fun meeting celebrities this year than I did. It was really great. Once again, I didn't get any footage of signing with Katie Lotz. Sorry about that. I really wanted to, but they wouldn't let me shoot in there, of course, and I would have had to pay for a photo, which I considered doing, but I didn't bring enough cash with me into that room. It wasn't that I didn't have enough. I just didn't happen to bring enough with me in that room, and so I wasn't able to do anything more than they didn't take cards and stuff. So all I could do was get the autograph. But she signed this real big to Captain Logan. It was super cool of her. She was a lot of fun, and she told me that she was really bad at spelling and wanted me to look it over and make sure that she spelled Captain right, which was really funny. Jayson, what other really cool stuff did you get to do? I'm going to let you direct the rest of this conversation. That's the major stuff I wanted to talk about. But you got to do all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, we got to the Superman store.
We went to the Superman store?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always fun. Looked around in there.
Mm-hmm. And we got to see someone ride a bicycle with Twix.
Oh yeah, did you watch the BMX bike show?
Yeah.
So if you're, can I tell them a little bit about the festival?
Yeah.
If they haven't been. So if you've never been to the Superman celebration, it is this really cool and one of the reasons I love it so much is this really interesting blend of a fan convention and a small town festival. So a lot of the stuff that you would expect to see at a convention is there, but it's mostly outdoors. There's some stuff inside buildings, but it's also a town festival, so they do like a BMX bike show, and they do like a strongman competition. There's food vendors, and it's sort of like you'd have at a carnival, but then there's a lot of other kinds of vendors too, and not just fan stuff. This year, though, the convention-type stuff was better than it ever has been. There were a lot of merchandise vendors, I think more than I have ever seen before, and Jayson, what did, you want to talk about some of the stuff we got?
Yeah.
What did you get? Did you just get the print?
Yeah.
Was that pretty much it? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and show them the print then. So in Artist Alley, because, just like a fan convention, just like a normal convention, they've got Artist Alley, and they have writers and artists there. I met, by the way, Kurt Busiek, and talked to him for a bit, and got a selfie with him, and that was a lot of fun. Everybody on Facebook said that that Kurt Busiek looks like me in the future, and yeah, it's really weird. There's an odd resemblance there between me and Kurt Busiek. But anyway, that was one of the big exciting things for me, was getting to meet Kurt Busiek. But Jayson found an artist that he kind of fell in love with, and I told him he could get a print, and this was the one he picked. What'd you get, Jayson?
I got Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that was a good pick, kid.
Yeah.
It's like everybody from Age of Ultron, including the Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of fun talking to that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you get to play video games?
Yes.
That's another thing they did this year that they'd never done before. They had a place indoors where you could play video games. This is really big nice TVs and different consoles. And what did you play?
I played Super Smash Brothers.
There was a group of teenagers that let Jayson. There was one guy after a game who was nice enough to relinquish his spot to Jayson, and Jayson got to play Super Smash Brothers with a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah.
A couple of games. How'd you do?
I did.
Did you win?
Well,
you didn't win? No.
No, because I was beaten up a couple of times.
Yeah.
When I was.
Who did you play as?
Pac-Man, and then I played as Mr. Game & Watch.
Oh, cool. Mr. Game & Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also a group of girls in costume, really cool costumes. There was there was a female Robin, and then there was a Black Canary.
Yeah, and there was a female Joker, and there was a Harley Quinn.
And anyway,
there was a guy who had a Star Wars costume.
Yeah. And these girls gathered around Jayson and kind of fell in love with him and started talking to him for a long time. And I got a picture, and they were hilarious. That was a lot of fun. So Jayson was a bit of a chick magnet at this show. And what else did we do, Jayson? Should we show them what Mom got?
Yes.
So I took Sarah into Artist Alley, and Sarah's a big Venom fan, and we tried to get kind of original art, and we don't have a lot of original art. We're starting to get into that, but we buy prints, and we try to get things that are kind of unusual and off the beaten path. Well, there was a guy who had an original Venom on canvas that painting that we could not resist, and Sarah ended up buying this. This will go in our game room, and we just thought this was absolutely gorgeous. Here it is. I'll fill up the whole screen with it. There it is. What do you think of that? Isn't that great, Jason?
Yes, it is.
He gave us a wonderful deal on that, and it's now. This is probably one of our favorite pieces in our collection now. Jason, what else should we talk about? So we got to see our movie, Midwestern Panels.
Yeah.
And a few people showed up for that. Mm-hmm. That was neat. It was in the program and everything. That was super cool. I want to thank Tim Brown, if he happens to be watching, for all he did for us for that. I've known Tim for a few years now. The first year we entered, man, what was that? 08, 09? I think 09. The first year we entered for the Superman fan film. I guess it's just the fan film contest. It's not just Superman stuff. But we got third place with Drell's The Godfather, and ever since then. I've known Tim, and we talk whenever I'm at the festival. And I was actually going to be a judge for the festival this year, and I ended up getting too busy, and that fell through. But I'll probably do it next year, and unless I enter again, maybe someday I'll do that. I've entered 3 times, and anyway, I contacted Tim on a whim and was like, "Hey, Metropolis is in the movie, and if you need more stuff to fill time for the theater, let me know." And he was really. He was really cool about it, and he saw the movie and really liked it. And I made a contact with the guy who runs a major show in Memphis, who wants to show the movie, and and wants me to do some panels and stuff. So that's really neat. So anyway, thanks again to Tim for showing the movie and for making sure that we were in all the literature and stuff. The setup they have now for films there is really neat. They have a theater inside the Baymont Hotel. They used to have kind of of more of a low-tech setup in one of the buildings downtown, and now they've got this great theater setup where it's not a movie theater. I thought it was a movie theater. It's actually a stage, but with a movie theater size screen and theater seats, and it's really nice. And we had a great time. It was really cool getting to see our movie that big and showing it to a little group. Yeah.
It was just a theater.
It was a theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's also incidentally where they did the signings. There were, by the way, I should also mention John Shea was there this year, the guy who played Lex Luthor on Lois and Clark, and I didn't get a chance to meet him. He wasn't in the Q&A, and you had to get in the line in another building to get a signature from him, and I was so busy I actually kind of forgot all about it. So I regret that a little bit, because I like him a lot, and I had every intention of going and talking to him, and that didn't end up happening. I just realized that. I'm a little bit bummed out about that. But anyway, it was a really great show. They had more stuff for kids and more stuff for everybody than they ever have before. There was a lot of fun stuff outdoors for the kids to do, and they had helicopter rides this year. They had carriage rides. I hadn't seen that before. It was great. I also want to mention that attendance was kind of down this year, and that's unfortunate because it is more fun and there's more to do than there ever has been. And if you can get yourself to Illinois next year in June, do yourself a favor and do it. It's so much fun. Attendance for the show is free. There's all kinds of inexpensive and free things to do. Food is incredibly inexpensive. A lot of the cart vendors will give you half price refills on drinks. I mean, like, it's a really, really inexpensive show. It's a 4-day show. It's if you're a big fan of superheroes and you like fan conventions, really go to that show, because it brings sunscreen, but go to that show because it is one of the most inexpensive and one of the most rewarding experiences I think you can have. And if you haven't had the small town southern experience, go for that too, because I grew up with that, and so I feel at home there. But everyone there is so incredibly nice, and it's just a great place to be. I've talked to some people who say, oh well, if it was Batman maybe I'd go, but I don't really care about Superman. But it's not all Superman. It's a superhero show. What superheroes did you meet? Were there quite a few people in costume again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else did you get to see?
There was 2 guys who played Batman.
Yeah.
There was the one from Dark Knight Returns.
Mm-hmm.
and then there was another Batman on stage.
Did you get to see a Joker?
Yeah.
What did you think of that Joker with the big painted on smile?
Yeah. That was cool.
We saw lots of cool stuff, lots of cool '90s stuff. There was, I think I saw the best Steel I've ever seen, and I've seen a couple there.
From Man of Steel.
No, from comics, John Henry Irons.
Oh.
And then there was, I think my favorite thing that I saw cosplay this year was Azrael Batman. That was an amazing costume. Well, anyway, everybody, thanks as always for watching. We sure appreciate it. And like I said, we had an incredibly good time. It was probably the most fun I've ever had at Metropolis. And like I said, if you've never been, you really should do yourself a favor and go see the Superman Museum and hang out at the festival. It's a really great time. And the other thing, one more thing I should probably mention that I totally forgot about. Goodness, a couple of people that watched the channel found me and came up to me, and we talked for quite a while. A couple of subscribers that I hadn't met before, so thanks to them for finding me and hanging out for a bit. That was a lot of fun, and it's always really neat when that happens. And I got to, some folks got to pick my brain a little bit, so that was fun. Thanks for watching, folks. We sure appreciate it. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Jayson.
See you later.